everyone. This is Heidi from HB Paper Crafts. Welcome to my regular Tuesday live. Today is Tuesday, May 26, 2020. Confirming we're connected to the right spot. And as always, just going to take a few minutes to chat while we wait for everyone to find me in their news feeds. I always appreciate you guys coming out and watching these lives. If you comment, like, or share, it's very appreciated. It helps increase our algorithms for anyone that does videos online. Facebook has so many algorithms of what will be seen by people. Here we go. Hi, Shelly. Hi, Pam. My computer's being very slow to catch up to me today. I always like to keep my computer going too so that I can see your comments and respond. There we go. Alright, so I'm very excited tonight. As I told you last week, I am done featuring the retired product and I wanted to show you some new stuff. Highlight of your Tuesday. Aw, that's so nice. Thank you, Pam. I really appreciate you coming out and watching. So I'm very excited to show you some all new stuff tonight. Yay! Oh, you're welcome, Shelly. Glad you got it. I've been busy popping things into people's mailboxes lately. Okay, so first I want to show you our all new in colors. I got my paper today. I'm very excited. I have not even busted it open, but I really love these new in colors. They have so we have some great coordinating colors that go with these. And actually, if you come to my catalog launch, I'm going to show you some matching colors that we have in our current color families. And the shine, I guess maybe on the package is a little bit too much for you to see, but I just love all these colors. They're really so pretty. And unlike, some of them are unlike anything that we have. We don't have a green really this color. I love this cinnamon cider. This is just jade. Misty moonlight. Magenta. What is it? Magenta madness and bumblebee. So there's some great new in colors for us there. And I got these the little in color enamel dots, which are super cute. I'm going to make some great projects. Hi, Angela. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Sandy. And the next is the 6x6, the designer series paper. So the new patterns for the designer series paper are out and they are awesome. So they have the polka dots on one side, and on the other side is just like it reminds me of 80s acid wash denim, I think. So on the other side it's got that, just a textured look, like a fabric look. On the other side of the polka dots, the words here, just a bunch of kind of like newsprint, which was a very popular print that we had a while ago. And on the back side it's like a wood grain on each of them there. So I have the 6x6 designer series paper here that I'm anxious to do some playing with. I did pop this open already because I have made one surprise card with it that I'll be showing at some point this week. So those are our beautiful new in colors. So moving right along, I have this 6x6 Flowers for Every Season DSP. This is in part of the suite, and I didn't get the whole suite. I just got a sampling of some different stuff, and not everything, of course, because, you know, who could do that? So these are gorgeous. I haven't even opened these yet, but so you can see on one side it's all that just jade and the cinnamon cider and the bumblebee, sunflowers, just a little circle print there. Some more sunflowers. Oh, they're so pretty. Ooh, yellow roses. That would have been my mama's favorite. Some more botanical type prints. Flowers. Some polka dots. Those are always useful. Oh, some cool greenery. That would make a cute Christmas card. It almost looks like piney there. Some stripes in that cinnamon cider. And more of that little circle print there. So pretty. The other side there, the more vibrant colors. So it's got some misty moonlight in the floral there. There is some Christmas patterns. Ooh, that's pretty. Misty moonlight floral. Monochromatic. Oh, some really pretty spring tulip mix there. All kinds of pretty ones. Oh, some more really vibrant stripes. Roses. So pretty. Oh, I love that one. That's super pretty. That looks very country-ish with the sunflowers and the polka dots. Some daisies. And some more polka dots. Oh, those are so pretty. Cute. Can't wait to play with those. Alright. On to some stamp sets. This is one of the bundles that I got called Many Mates. It has all kinds of different phrases, but what is cool about this, it has the outside phrase and then a little inside phrase matching as well. So it's got lots of great phrases in different fonts. You're just so fabulous. It's your day. All kinds of cute ones. I'm glad you were born. Today is all about you. This calls for a huge celebration. And then the coordinating dies, which are amazing. I love these background dies. Again, I haven't even played with this yet. I haven't even taken it out of the package, but I like to mount all my dies on a magnetic, super cute, on a magnetic background, as you'll see in some of these other ones that I've already opened. But those are cool. Some border dies there, and then a background die in that set. Awesome! Well, I'm going to close it up. And then here is one of my favorite new ones, Celebrate Sunflowers. It's got some gorgeous sunflowers in there. And then these dies, which I have played with already, and I absolutely love them. Has the sunflower. It has the background dies that actually cut out the large and the small sunflowers. And then the leaves that cut out the coordinating leaves, the small leaves. And then a couple of other little dies in there as well. Love that set. You'll see lots from me out of that one. That's going to be a popular one. This one, I didn't buy the coordinating punch. I just bought the stamp set, and I'm not really sure why, because the punch is really cool, but I love this Lovely You stamp set. I really adore these fonts in this one, and the mixture of the print and the script font. I really like those. Those are super cute. And then last but not least, tonight we are going to play with the Blossoms in Bloom stamp set and coordinating dies. So the dies in this bundle, and this is how I like to mount my dies when I get them. This little piece of magnetic paper is just stuff that I bought on Amazon, and I cut down. When I get my package, I cut it down to the size that I need. So these dies, it's actually a 2-die set. So there's a really thin die. Let me show you here. So there's a really thin die that's cut like that here, and it has a couple of different flowers also in the little outline. And then there's a thicker die that's meant to layer on top or underneath. The thin die is supposed to go on top of the thicker die. Make sense? Yes, Heidi. Hello. Get together. So those are cool. Alright, so these are what we're going to play with this evening. And the Blossoms in Bloom stamp set, of course, it has these watercolory looking distinctive stamps that give you the dimension in the stamp. So just one stamp set, and then some awesome just block phrases, which are always handy to have. Alright, so let's put these away. Tonight I'm just going to make a couple of simple cards using this new bundle here, the Blossoms in Bloom and the coordinating many layered Blossoms dies. So the first one I'm going to make is actually using the stamp set. And I'm just going to use some sort of monochromatic tones for this one. I was just sort of playing with the background with the stamp to see what it would look like in the background. And I wanted to change it up from the traditional bright colors. So I'm going to use a crumb cake, piece of crumb cake that measures 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of Whisper White, just a regular half sheet of Whisper White that measures 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. And I'm going to fold it in half to create my card base. And then last but not least, I cut out a die out of the Stitch So Sweetly dies. So as you know, one of my favorite die sets, I used one of the dies out of there. Alright, so we're first going to start with the big flower background. And I put it on my biggest block here. And we're going to ink that up with some crumb cake ink. I'm shaking my camera there. Sorry. And I'm going to just do it off to one side here. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to take out my Stampin' Pierce mat. When you're using a large photopolymer stamp set like this, the Stampin' Pierce mat will really help you make sure it all gets connected. If you have just that little bit of foam underneath, it will help you get a good image. Okay, so there is that. Then I'm going to take one of the little flowers in the set, and I'm going to ink it up with some early espresso. And I just went ahead and I stamped that in 3 different spots around the card here. So there's 1, there's 2, and we're going to go down here like that. There are some centers for these flowers. So for my larger flowers, I'm going to again use the crumb cake ink and just the little dotted center that's in this stamp set. And it's just a matter of filling in. I wasn't trying to get it precise, just filling in. And then I'm going to flip over my block, and I have a small center, and I'm going to use the early espresso to dot the centers of the smaller flowers. Again, I'm not being too precise. These are sort of watercolory looking flowers, so if it doesn't exactly hit the middle, I'm okay with that. Alright, so I'm done with these two. I'm going to take out my Pear Pizzazz ink, and I'm going to use the leaf in the set and just sort of fill in my background here. No rhyme or reason, anywhere. Anywhere, anywhere. And I'm going to do one more over here, I think. There we go. Okay. On my little die from the Stitch So Sweetly set, I'm going to use the crumb cake ink again. And I'm going to use the Thinking of You that's in this set. We all have these Thinking of You cards that we could send out at this time. I sent out quite a few with the Sure Do Miss You in this set, which is also quite fitting. And actually, while I have that out, I am going to take my little sponge dauber. I'm going to go around the edges of my tag, and I'm also going to go around the edges of my flower piece here. Just give it that little something something around the edge, makes it a little more aged looking. I like it when you do a neutral card like this. I think it adds something nice. Alright, there we go. So there are those. Okay, so now I'm really done with the crumb cake ink. I'll put that away. Now I just took a piece of this is what I have left of the polka dot tulle. You could use any ribbon that you had. And I'm just going to go right across it. I'm not going to do a bow or anything. I'm just going to use it as sort of a backdrop for my little tag. So decide where I want it. And then I'm going to take some of our tear tape. And I'm going to put a piece here. And I'm going to put a piece here. Here, take your pick tool, which is the bee's knees. And I'm just going to fold my ribbon over that adhesive. So with the second one, I'm just going to flip it over to make sure I have it straight. Oh, excuse me. And there you go. Then I'm going to take some dimensionals. And I'm going to put some actually right over that ribbon to help just sandwich it in place. And this is going to get adhered onto our card base. Like so. And then our little thinking of you tag is also going to get a couple of dimensionals. Like that. And then last but not least, it's probably hard to see. Oh goodness, where did I put them? Okay, they're there. It's probably hard to see in the video, but I took some of these little clear dots that actually came in a paper pumpkin. So I'm using up some product that I got out of a paper pumpkin. And funny story, when I went to put my paper pumpkin together, I couldn't find them. So when I did find them, now I have them to play with on other projects, but it's just a good use of all the products that come in your little paper pumpkin. And they just add a little bit of dimension. And you can't really see them on the video, but they are really cute in person. And I'm again just going to use my take your pick tool, the little putty end here. And I'm going to sprinkle a few around on my card. Cute! Alright, so there is project number 1. Cute little thinking of you card with that Blossoms in Bloom set. Just a simple card. Alright, let me pick up my mess here, and I have one other project for you using this same stamp set. Now we're going to revert, and we're going to actually use the dies in this set, but I'm going to use them in a different way. So I have myself some paper here. The first one that we need is a piece of 5x7 cardstock. I'm going to take out my trimmer, and you'll see why, but I'm going to take out my trimmer, and I'm going to go to 3.5, and I'm going to use the little scoring end, and I'm going to put a tick mark in the top, and I'm going to come down, I'm going to put a tick mark in the bottom. So that's just going to give me the halfway point of this piece of cardstock. Hopefully that shows up on there. So 5x7, we put a tick mark at 3.5 just so I know where the half is. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to take these dies out here, and the first one we're going to use is this thin die here, and I didn't go ahead and punch out the rest of this stuff here, and you could certainly leave them in, or leave some of them in, a little variation. The die brush would have taken good care of these. I did not do that. Alright, so I'm going to leave some of them in just for a little something something. I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper. And this is the card that we're going to make. Or cards, I should say. So from this one die, we're actually going to get 2 cards. So you see where we're going with this here? We're actually going to cut this in half once we get done. So the first thing that we're going to do is actually watercolor this. So I made this one in, this is actually Melon Mambo, because I didn't have my new in colors until today. And actually the inks aren't available to demonstrators just yet. They weren't ready. So I don't have the inks yet either. So we're going to start with the Melon Mambo. And this one I'm going to make yellow. A yellow and Melon Mambo combination. So we'll start with a So Saffron. And I always just give your ink pads just a little bit of squeeze. And that gives you some ink in the well of your ink pad that we're actually going to paint with. So I'm using an aqua painter. I'm going to pick up some of that ink that's in my little, well, we're going to call it a palette now. And I'm just going to brush over the centers with the saffron ink. No rhyme or reason. It can be darker in some areas and lighter in others. And I'm just going to go over the centers of each of them. Okay, clean off my brush, and we're done with the So Saffron. So now I'm going to grab the Melon Mambo, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to give it just a good squeeze so that I get some of that ink in the top of the case. Oh, that one didn't want to work. I may need to re-ink this one. Alright, we're going to go plan number 2. I'm just going to go right to the ink pad. So we could actually just pick some up off the ink pad and put it down there with a little bit of water. That will also give us the same sort of effect. So then I'm going to go and I'm going to hit all the flower edges. So you don't need to be super careful. You don't want to be too rough. These are delicate, but I do want to put this on a little generously, so make it darker than my So Saffron. In the first version of this one, you can see I actually used the Melon Mambo, and that's what I did my flowers in. And we're just gonna go around. And it's actually kind of cool if there are some areas that are darker than others. It gives your flowers a little variation. And they really do look more watercolored when you do that. But you can spread it out and make it as light or as dark as you'd like. And because these are so thin, I'm not really applying a whole lot of water. It dries pretty quickly. Alright, so there we go. Clean off my brush again. And now I'm going to take the Granny Apple Green. So you see I already have some ink in the kit cover of this one. I'm just going to give myself a little bit more. And I'm going to pick up the Granny Apple Green and I'm going to do the leaves. And you see I'm not really being too precise, just going over the outline. Alright, so there we go. And now we're just going to give this a second to dry. And I'm going to pick up my mess. Alright, while that dries, I'm going to use the background here. I'm going to take the background and I'm going to finish just popping out all the little holes that I should have done with my dye brush here. There we go. So that one comes out pretty easily. I'm going to grab my silicone mat, and you can actually see that I have used this. And all you have to do when the glue is dry is rub it off. You could take this to the sink and you could wash it, your little silicone mat, but this works just as well. My craft room is in my bedroom, so I don't have access to a sink real close. I do also have a little glue eraser, and that will rub off all this glue for you as well really quickly. Alright, easy peasy, all done. So we're going to take this delicate dye that we just watercolored, and actually let me give you a piece of white so you can actually see how pretty it is once you get it up against the white. Super pretty. You can do this in all kinds of different colors. And I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to give myself a little bit of the liquid glue here on the side. And like you've seen me do before, we're just going to take our little wedge of Stampin' Sponge, and I'm just going to go around and pounce all over this delicate dye. And that's what's going to give us the sticky to glue it to the background piece. And now we'll just line it up in one corner and go all around lining it up. And I'm fighting with it, but it's really not as difficult as I'm making it look. Got too much glue on my fingers here. There we go. I don't think I got any glue over here. Alright, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Well, this one does not want to go where it needs to go. The biggest problem is I didn't let it dry thoroughly. Once you let it dry, it's a lot easier to manage. Okay, so there we go. So now it's all where it should be. I'm going to take my piece of 5x7, and I got glue on my desk. A hot mess with the glue tonight. And I'm again going to take some liquid glue, and I'm just going to hit some of the bigger areas on this die to glue it down to our background. So the reason I made those little tick marks to see where the halfway point was is so that I could set the die down, and then we're going to cut it in half, and that's what's going to allow us to use it on 2 different cards, 2 different backgrounds. So I'm going to set it here and here. And there we go. Okay, before we go ahead and cut it apart, I wanted something else in the background of my card. So I actually took these little polka dots, these little doodads from the Waterfront stamp set. And that's what I'm going to use to fill in on my background of this card. It's just the little polka dots in the background just to add in a little something else. I really am liking this yellow. It's so pretty. Alright, so I'm going to take my So Saffron ink, which is the background color here. And I'm going to ink up the little polka dots. And I'm just going to go around the edge. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Like that. Alright, so now I'm going to take my guillotine trimmer. I find it easiest with a guillotine. If you have a regular trimmer, it would work as well if you have a good regular trimmer. And we're going to cut it. We're going to match those tick marks up, and it's going to be right at 3.5. So this piece is going to be right in half. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to cut it in half. And now we have 2 backgrounds for our cards. I took a piece of Melon Mambo, or actually 2 pieces of Melon Mambo. Excuse me, and these measure 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, and these will just get adhered onto those. Like so. And then this one. I'll be careful not to rub it too much because I will tear it. And there we go. So my background for this card, I'm going to actually use the Crumb Cake, one of my all-time favorites. Versatile color. Oop, got a little clinger. And then this is going to get adhered right onto the Crumb Cake cardstock. Right here. I still set it down crooked. Goodness gracious. Alright, there we go. So there we go. So now I have 2 cards out of my 1 die cut that I can go ahead and assemble. I have a strip of Whisper White. This just happens to be 1/2 inch. And I'm going to use, again, the Crumb Cake ink. And this time, from this stamp set, I'm going to just use the Happy Birthday, which I did not get out yet, so hold please. Happy birthday. And any old block here. And I'll ink it up with the Crumb Cake ink. Now on this one I use that Sure Do Miss You, which of course is one set here, but I just went ahead and I cut it apart. So that's how I got this look here. Or you can do little tags, you can do that. You could do it on a punch, you could do it on the die, you could do all kinds of different things. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it apart again because I kind of like that look. And I'm going to do Happy Birthday. I love this set too. It is so pretty. And there are already so many examples of what people have done with it. It's just really cool. Hi, Marie. Alright, so I'm going to use some of that liquid glue. And I'm going to go with the happy. And the birthday. Down here. And then last but not least, in my little treasure chest of bling, I have just some of these little leftover pearls. You could use anything, you could use nothing. Some people don't care about the bling. I don't know, I like it. I like to add a little something. And I like to add it in little groups. So I'm going to add just one down there. I'll add 3 here. And then I'll add 1 there. Actually, I might add 2 down here. There we go. So there we go. I adore this yellow one. I wasn't sure. I wanted to change up the colors, but I really love how that looks. And the watercoloring, maybe you can't see it as well on the video, but it is so pretty. And this pink one too. Super cute. Anyway, I love this. I love this die set, and I'm sure you will as well. So there you have it. A couple of different projects using the Blossoms in Bloom stamp set and bundle package. I hope that you guys had a wonderful holiday weekend this weekend. We certainly had some gorgeous weather. We can't complain about that at all. It was nice to finally be able to just constantly be outside, which is awesome. And so next Thursday is my catalog kickoff event. So I have all kinds of new stuff to show you and some fun projects to share with you. Thursday night at 6 p.m. there is an event on my business Facebook page. If you want to go ahead and check out the event, I will be posting lots of fun stuff up until Thursday night. 6 p.m. I will go live with the catalog launch party. So hope you can join me. Thanks everybody. Oh, thank you guys. I hope that you enjoy this stamping time. I appreciate you guys coming out. Have a wonderful evening. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.